Dear student, due to coronavirus, school started online classes for your study. So you can subscribe Golden Flower Palia YouTube channel, like and press the bell icon.
Hello students, today we are going to start the next module of the physics class 12th. Okay, we were studying electrostatics and this is the part number 4. Okay, so what we are going to study today, in this module we are going to study the law of superposition of electrostatic force and electric field and some of the terms related to the electric field. Okay, let's start with the topic today. The first I am going to explain you principle of superposition of electrostatic force. Okay, so what is this principle about? This principle about, we have studied till now that the electrostatic force between the two charged particles. If they are not two charged particles, several charged particles are surrounding one charged particle, then how would you calculate the electrostatic force? So when we are having the situations of a group of charges interacting together, then the force, electrostatic force between the two charged particle is not influenced by the presence of third charged particle. Okay, that means other charged particle will not going to be affect the force between the two charged particles. That force between the two charged particle is individual. Is that clear? So take one example, like we are having a charge q1 and it is surrounded by a number of charged particles like q2, q3, q4, q5 and q6, and they are having different distances also. It represent r12, r13, r14, r15 and r16. Is that clear? So what will be the net force on this charge q1 due to the group of charged particles that is surrounding this charged particle? So this principle states that net force acting on a charged particle due to group of charged particles is equal to the vector sum of forces between vector sum of forces applied by individual charged particle on the given charge particle. Okay, so individual force like q2 is applying F12, q3 is applying F13, q4 is applying F14, q5 is applying F15, q6 is applying F16. So net force on the q1 will be equal to the vector sum of F12, F13, F14, F15 and F16. I hope you have cleared this topic. So come to the next part, that is electric field. Okay, what is electric field? electric field. What is that electric field? Electric field is a region around a charged particle. This is a charged particle present in a space, and that is a region around this charged particle in which we are bringing another charged particle. This charged particle will experience a force of attraction or repulsion. So according to this explanation, what should be the definition of electric field? Electric field is the region around a charged particle in which other charged particle, if comes, it experiences a force of attraction or force of repulsion. Is that clear? So what is the electric field? It is the region around a charged particle in which other charged particle experiencing a force of attraction or repulsion. Okay, how we are going to measure this electric field? Okay, so for measuring the electrostatic field, we introduce this electric field in other terms. We call it electric field intensity. Actually, electric field intensity, electric field has a different kind of definition, depends upon in which part of the physics we are going to explain it. If we are explaining in potential, using the term potential, then we call this electric field electric potential gradient. Okay, if we are explaining in the terms of flux, we call it electric flux density. If we are explaining in terms of force, we call it electric intensity, or we call it electric induction. Is that clear? So what is electric field? How we are going to measure it? So I am going to explain you electric field in terms of force here. So if we are explaining it in terms of electric force, then we write it as electric field intensity. Okay, what is electric field intensity? It is electrostatic force experienced by unit charge particle in electric field. Okay, so electric field intensity is equal to force experienced by unit charge particle. Clear? So electrostatic force will be equal to Q naught E. I hope it is clear to everybody. If we are explaining electric field in terms of force, we call it electric field intensity, and it is the electrostatic force experienced by unit charge particle in electric field. So by the formula we are representing it as E is equal to F upon Q, where F is the force experienced by the charge particle and Q naught is the point charge particle. Okay, point charge particle means the charge particle which has negligible significance, or we can say that which has negligible appearance. It is not going to be contribute in the electric field which is already present. Is that clear? So F is equal to Q naught E. Q naught is the point charge particle, test charge we call it sometimes. So F is equal to Q naught E. You have to keep remember this. Okay, it is a vector quantity. It is vector quantity. Okay. So here, before heading toward the next topic, after the electric field intensity, we have unit of electric field intensity. What is the unit of E? That was force upon charge. Force unit is Newton and charge unit it is Coulomb. So it is Newton per Coulomb. Okay. You find out the dimensional formula yourself. Okay. After that, come to the direction. What will be the direction of electric field? The direction of electric field will be the direction of electrostatic force. Okay, because F is equal to Q naught E, both are directly proportional to each other. So whatever the electric field, whatever the direction of electric force will be there, the same direction will be of electric field. Okay. So now we are going toward the topic electric field lines. I am going to explain you electric field lines. Okay. You know who has given this formula? Sorry, not formula, this concept. This concept was given by Michael Faraday. Okay. Electric field lines or electric lines of force. Okay. More accurately, you say electric field lines. Clear? Why electric field lines? What are the electric field lines and why we are using them? So electric field nobody has seen. To visualize this electric field, Michael Faraday has given a concept of electric field lines. By electric field lines, we can visualize the electric field in any space if it is present. Actually, electric field is a real fundamental concept, but electric field lines, they are imaginary curves. Okay. So what are electric field lines? Let first define it. Electric field lines, if in a space where electric field is present, electric field is present, a charge is placed, which is free to move. Okay. The path it followed in that electric field is called electric field line. Okay, you got understood? If in a space there it is an electric field and you have been kept a charge which is free to move in that space, so whatever path it will be following up to move from one place to another place, that particular path is called electric field line. Okay, it's an imaginary curve. It is just used to visualize the electric field present in a space. Okay, so electric field lines are the path followed by the charge particle where the electric field is present. Okay, so there are different assumptions for electric field. What kind of electric field has to be drawn for particular kind of charge particles. So suppose you are having a positive charge particle. So from the positive positive charge particle, electric field are originating from the positive charge particle. Okay, and for the negative charge particle they end to the negative charge particle. Clear? Okay, so for the positive charge particle, like you are having a positive charge particle Q, so electric field lines will move away from the positive charge particle. These are the electric field lines moving away, because there is no other charge particle is kept near to this positive charge particle, so they will be originating from the positive charge and will end to the infinity. Is that clear? Another, if negative charge particle is present in the space, they'll move toward the negative charge particle in this way, okay, coming from infinity and ending at minus q. If both our charge particles are present, positive and negative together, they are present in the space, okay, this condition we also call dipole. Plus q and minus q both are present, so these lines are originating from plus q and ending at minus q. Okay, make it butterfly. They are originating from plus q, and ending at minus q. Clear? If both are positively charged, if both will be positively charged particle, the earlier arrangement that I made, it was plus and minus both were together, it is also called dipole. Okay, if now we have both positive charge particle plus q and plus q, so from its originating, they will repel to each other. So we call it like, for the positive charge particle, for the repulsion they are expanding laterally, and when there it is unlike charges, they are contracting lengthwise. They are expanding laterally. Okay, so they are expanding laterally. Both are like charges, same kind of charges, having same nature. Okay, there will be uniform electric field is present. For uniform electric field, we draw electric field lines equidistant from each other. Okay, equidistant from each other. If these kind of lines are present in the space, that means electric field is uniform. Okay, another concept it is there, two electric field lines never intersect to each other. Two electric field lines never intersect to each other. Why they are not intersecting to each other? Because at the point of intersection there will be two directions of electric field. Actually, electric field's direction we are showing at any point by drawing the tangent to which direction electric field lines are moving, and we want to find out the direction of electric field at particular point of the electric field line. We have to draw a tangent to that electric field lines. That tangent will tell you the direction of electric field at that particular point. So if two electric field lines are intersecting to each other, so where two electric fields are intersecting to each other, at that point electric field will have two directions, which is not possible. At the same point, two directions. Okay, at the same point you cannot move in the two directions. Is it clear? So at 2 points there can't be the two directions of electric field. That is why we are saying that electric field lines are never intersecting to each other. Okay, one more important question comes. Electric field lines always originating normal to the conductor. Okay, whatever conductor you have, whatever conductor is carrying the charge in it, from that conductor electric field lines originating normal and terminating also at normal. Normal means perpendicular to that conductor. Okay, they are originating perpendicular to the surface of that conductor, and they are when ending to the conductor, that also normal to the conductor. So what is this function of normal electric field? The normal electric field, the function it is like कि suppose this conductor is carrying a charge and electric field is not originating at normal somewhere other in some other direction like this. There it is a direction of electric field. Then it will have two component. One is normal, another is horizontal component. Okay. Horizontal component, what it's showing? It's showing that electrons are moving on the surface of conductor. Okay. Because charge particle is moving in the direction of electric field. Just now in the definition we have studied that if you keep free a charge particle in the space where electric field is present, that charge particle move in the direction of electric field, and that particular direction we call it electric field line. Okay. So if the electric field will have some other direction on the conductor other than normal, then it will have two components. One is horizontal, another is vertical. So the horizontal component is explaining that the charge particle present on the surface will move on the surface. Okay, will move on the surface, and there should be the current on the surface. So at equilibrium we have not seen any current on the surface of conductor which is carrying a charge. That means practically it is no current is present on the surface of conductor. It means electric field lines are originating at the normal to the conductor. Okay, I hope you understood this concept. If electric field lines will not be in the normal direction and they would be in some other direction, then there will be the two component of that electric field. One is horizontal and another will be the vertical. In the horizontal component, electrons will move in the horizontal direction. When it will come at this direction, electric field lines will be there, and in some other direction other than normal, then also it will have some horizontal component, and in that horizontal component electrons will move on the surface of conductor and will produce a current on the surface of conductor. So practically it has not been seen that there it is a current on the surface of conductor which is carrying a charge. Okay, so it can be say that the electric field lines are always originating at the normal to the surface of conductor and ending at the normal to the surface of conductor. Please keep remember this. These two important question always comes. Why electric field lines never intersect to each other? Because at the point of intersection there would be the two directions of electric field, which is not possible, and electric field lines are always originating at normal and terminating at normal. So why they are originating at normal and terminating at normal? So then what will be your answer? If there will be some other direction of electric field other than the normal, then they will have that electric field will have two components. One is horizontal, another is vertical. In horizontal component is showing that electrons are moving on the surface of conductor and producing a current on the surface of conductor, which has not been seen till now. So there it is. A possibility that electric field lines are originating normal to the surface of conductor. Clear? So this was the electric field lines. Keep remember them. One more important part, that if electric field lines are more, they are very dense at in a space. Somewhere it is very dense, a large number of electric lines are present any space, that means their electric field will be strong. If they are they are separating from each other, they are far away from each other, that means electric field is little bit weak there. Okay, it is just like magnetic field. You have studied in class 9th and 10th where magnetic field lines were more, that their magnetic field strength is more, and where they were very less, their magnetic field is very weak. So similarly, electric field lines, the same concept applied to the electric field lines. Where electric field lines are more in number, there will be a strong electric field, and when there will be a less number of electric field lines present in any space, there would be a weak electric field present in that space. Okay, so keep remember these things. They would be help in your next terms what we are going to explain now.
Do self study at home and stay home, save lives.